Hi, this is Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing the Blancpain Leman Reveil GMT, an alarm and dual time. You can see this 40mm automatic winding stainless steel dual time alarm and own it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Reveil GMT. Now, I'm not starting with the wrist because this is an alarm watch, and though fit comes first, I know you, like I would be, are probably dying to hear what it sounds like. So let me oblige. You can also deactivate the mechanism, and as you can see, the black polished striker on the back, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Now that you know that it sounds like the real deal, let's see how it fits. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. It's a perfect fit. Now the watch is 40mm, which is an excellent all-around size. It's contemporary without being overwhelming, and it's the lug-to-lug dimension of this watch that really makes the ergonomic equation. 45mm from lug to lug means you can wear this on a wrist, in my opinion, as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference. You can really wear this watch on quite a small wrist, and it will sit securely. It will look proportional. As you can see, the short lugs mean that I have plenty of clearance on both sides of my wrist, so you could easily size down the wrist and keep this watch. It is reasonably slim, 13.3mm, but with that double gadron, double-stepped rounded bezel, it will easily slide underneath the dress cuff, and it's a versatile aesthetic with the white metal of the polished steel and the black dial and rubberized black leather strap, providing an aesthetic that wears well with almost anything in almost any occasion. You can even wear this strap in the water, and yes, the watch is 100-meter water resistant. Perhaps this is the point where we get a little bit closer, and you can see just how substantial that strap is. Now, this is one of Blancpain's modern signatures, taking what's fundamentally a leather strap and then rubberizing it to make it water resistant. So you get the stiffness, the durability, the longevity of the underlying leather, and then you get the water-resistant properties of the rubber. You'll also note that it conforms to the end of the case, so there's very little daylight, if any, between case flank and the end of the strap, so the look is highly integrated on the wrist. It looks all of a piece. So if you have reservations about the smallish lug-to-lug span, the conforming profile of the strap helps the watch to have a full circumferential presence on your wrist. It does look larger than it is, especially with the high polish of the case. Now, it has a simple and old-fashioned stainless steel pin buckle. It is a Blancpain piece, and you can use this for quickly adjusting on the fly. Of course, this is a sports watch, and it is designed to be used for summer occasions, and summer occasions tend to get wet and sweaty. Now, the watch is simply shaped but handsome. You can see that the case, the Leman line, has a visible resemblance to the 50 Fathoms. The Leman and 50 Fathoms family really feel like scaled versions of each other, so it's very much of the Blancpain aesthetic. The timepiece also has a handsome set of double gadron on the bezel that helps to give it a little bit more of a meaty aesthetic, more substantial, and nicely matches the massive knurling of the crowns. As you can see, they are quite notched to allow for easy use. Now, all three of the crowns are screw downs, and of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't take a quick tour of what they all do. So you have the on-off function for the alarm. This, of course, is a screw down as well, so you can lock that in place. The indicator that it controls is right up here at 12 o'clock. Alarm on, alarm off. Adjacent to that is a power reserve scale, not for the watch, but for the alarm. You automatically wind the alarm by wearing the watch on your wrist, so it's one of the rare alarm watches that will actually wind both the time-telling functions of the watch as well as the alarm function of the watch, and this scale will let you know whether or not the alarm has juice. It even has a loomed hand, for Pete's sakes. There will be a wonderful loom shot at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Now, you have two crowns on the 3 o'clock side. One of them, as you can see, allows you to set the dial, and you see it simply freewheels in the opposite direction when you turn it clockwise, but allows you to set the dial such that you can fix the time of the alarm. And then once you're done, simply screw that back into place. Now finally, you have a scale 12 hours, individually selectable without actually stopping the watch. You can see from the constant seconds, the watch continues to keep time. So this is an ideal travel complication. You'll note that you can drive the date using this local hour hand, and you can drive it in both directions without hazard to the movement as you cross the international date line. Now critically, you'll note the minute hand is not changing position, nor is the 24-hour scale. That is your second time zone. So you do have a true 24-hour scale, your second time zone. Pull both crowns out so I can demonstrate a few additional functions. And now when you pull this crown out to the max, you can see that you change the local time and you change the 24-hour time. And if you look closely, you'll also note that the watch does feature hacking or stop seconds. So you can set this watch precisely against a reference. Go back to my push that back in, resume. You can wind the watch using the crown at 2 o'clock, and you can wind the alarm using the crown at 2 o'clock. And once you're done, they all screw down beautifully. On the case back, hand finished 40-hour power reserve, winding both alarm and time-telling functions. You can see it is the Blancpain caliber 1241, beautifully executed. There are some elements of this gorgeous hand-finished movement that go above and beyond expectations, even in the haut de gamme price point and market segment where Blancpain plays. And nothing is more emblematic of that wonderful excess than the black polished striker for the alarm itself. As you can see, it turns black when you move the watch caliber flush to the camera because it is the highest level of optical finish. When you look at it and it turns black, you know you're looking at what they call poly noir within the industry, or black polish. You'll also note that there's a beautiful and perfectly aligned linear Côte de Genève across the bridges, the real thing, created with an abrasive wheel not stamped in. All of the bridges, and you can see this to good advantage when you turn the watch flush to the camera again, feature a beautiful mirror-rounded anglage. So if you love that fat, broad anglage on the edge of your bridges that you don't necessarily need a loop to appreciate, this watch certainly delivers on that count. It also features beautifully polished jewel countersinks with the same level of high polish, same level of finish, depth, and rounded edge, and you'll also note blued screws, the real kind. Kiln-fired, heat-oxidized, not chemically blued. This is a beautifully executed movement and wonderfully complex. It does feature over 400 parts and 38 jewels. So we're talking some serious high horology here, not just in the finish, but in the underlying watchmaking. It's actually a little bit of a miracle that this watch is only 13 1/3 millimeters thick. Handsome and versatile, and again, 100-meter water resistant, therefore viable for almost any application. Beautifully loomed, this really is the ultimate travel watch. In fact, if you had to neck down to just one watch in your collection, or you're adding just one fine watch to your lifestyle, you really can't do any better than this. A Swatch Group company with the financing, engineering, and service capacity to essentially be around forever and always take this watch back for adjustments when necessary. This is an heirloom quality product that just happens to be everyday quality companion. See it and make it yours on our website. Blancpain Leman Reveil GMT. Well, I told you it's the ultimate travel watch. Not only do you have a beautifully blazing Luminova dial, but you have luminescent hands and scales for everything. Even the alarm, if you'll note at 3 o'clock on the dial, both the numerals and the indicators, the alarm can be set to the minute in the dark. The power reserve for the alarm and the alarm on-off indicator are both luminescent. This is a fully loomed watch dial for a timepiece that stays fully functional even in the pitch black. See it and hear it on our website.